I got involved with I'm in Love with a Church Girl through some mutual friends and some business people in the music business, in the film business, who saw a screening of the film and said, you know, Israel would be ideal for some of this. And when I got the call from my good friend Danny McGuffey, you know, he put me in touch with Gally, and it was amazing because the first time I talked to Gally on the phone, I just felt this immediate, like, yeah, this is cool. Like, you know, you could talk to some people and it's just difficult and kind of laborious, and you're like, okay, let's just get to the point, you know. And with him, it was just easy, and I pay attention to that because as far as I'm concerned, I've been in full-time ministry for 21 years now. I started young, and everything I've done, if I looked back over the last 21 years, I couldn't boast to you about anything, records or awards or anything like that. The only thing I would boast about is that the relationships that I had 21 years ago, I still have. And so I've always put relationship in front of opportunity. I feel like if you have a good relationship, good opportunity will follow it. If you major on what's in it for me and what's the opportunity, then relationships will always fall. And so I've walked away from some really potentially great opportunities because it was going to be at the expense of relationship. And so I've paid attention to that over the years, and having met Gally and seen the movie and just really saw the heart of excellence behind what was happening here, and the story is amazing, performance was amazing. I was like, yeah, I'm in. Of course, anytime we can be involved in expanding what God has called us to do, you know, I'm in. There are a lot of faith-based movies that just, they almost have an apology attached to them. You know, hey, we didn't have enough time, or we didn't have enough money, you know. And not just films, but, you know, music projects, etc. There's always sort of this, well, we're Christians, therefore, you know, give us a break. And in this, though you knew faith was at the heart of it, excellence was like the prevailing, you know, pulse in the thing. It was like, it was shot well, it was acted well, it was scored well. I mean, everything, just lighting, coloring, just audio, everything. It's like sometimes you'll see a movie and it like looks great and sounds terrible, or sounds great and looks terrible, you know. And this was like this perfect synergy of just an excellent movie. It's the type of movie you'd see stacked up next to anything else. When I heard Ja Rule is playing the main character, first of all, he's had plenty of screen experience with great videos and stuff. And I didn't know what to expect, honestly, but I was really moved, man. And I thought he delivered in a very, very big way. And I thought the chemistry between him and I just forgot her name, Adrian. I thought the chemistry between him and Adrian was believable. It was palatable. You felt the tension. You felt the elation, you know. And again, man, it's a well done movie and very, very well performed by the main characters. When I first met the writer and producer Gally, I felt like there was an instant connect, and that's not always normal. You know, there are certain people you sort of have to labor with to get to where you're going, and I felt an easy kinship there, and I appreciated. I saw a similar camaraderie with how he approaches art and how he approaches communicating that art. He approaches it with excellence, and I admire that in anybody who's making art and communicating and making music and all of these kinds of things. And so I saw a very similar approach in our lives and in our work ethic, and I appreciated that. I sense God's presence anytime that there is a need for His voice and a need for His hand. And we've been spending a lot of time in Hollywood and in California, and my mind goes back to the time when my parents came to know Christ, and it was 40 years ago. And 40 years ago, they came to know Christ literally on the street corner because somebody was saying unashamedly the name of Jesus. And I just believe, man, 40 years later, that my generation, Galley's generation, we've inherited something. And that is, at that point, there was something called the Jesus movement. It hit strong in the Bay Area. It hit strong throughout the beach communities in California and spread. And I'm here as a result of somebody who was touched in that movement. And I think now it's not so much bullhorns on street corners that are getting results. I think it's films and the arts and humble people communicating truth. And what better place than one of the greatest art forms of all time, and that is film, media. So we're here at Lakewood Church, my home church. I've been on staff here for 10 years, and we're in the studio here at the church. And again, talking about go big or go home. This is a Rustberger design studio. It's unbelievably great sounding room. And so I've got some guys here, some of the guys I've worked with for years, and we're doing 4 original tracks for the soundtrack, some that'll be in the movie and some that'll be a part of the soundtrack of connected to the movie. And I'm honored, man. I'm honored to be a part of it. Everybody's got great vibe going into it. There's a lot of just good unity and camaraderie, and we're excited to be involved in a project of this caliber.